one of two guys to come.
I'd like to call the meeting to order. Would you all please rise for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to welcome you all this morning to our regular county board meeting in December. I'd like to take the opportunity to remind you that at 10 o'clock today, the courthouse is going to be flown by drone on the outside. So if you'd like to see that going on and how they do that, the survey of the outside of the courthouse will be starting at 10 o'clock today. Okay? Mr. Clerk, would you call the roll?
Certainly. Farner.
Here.
Lawton.
Here.
Luddington.
Here.
Patrick. Bruner.
Here.
Ellis.
Here.
Voigt.
Here. First item on the agenda that we need to deal with is the minutes from the regular meeting of November 1st. I'm sorry, I did that wrong. The minutes from November 1st public hearing, November 30th, November 3rd regular meeting, and the second meeting of the month, the 24th of November, was also a regular meeting. You all had those, hopefully not in that order and you weren't listening to me. At any rate, is there a motion to approve the minutes as submitted by the clerk? Okay, Phil moves. Have a second? Russ seconds. Any other clarifications or questions or corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Claims against the county, you've had those for several days. Are there any questions or clarifications needed as the expenses are outlined? Hearing none, motion to approve the claims for the county. Lisa moves. Phil seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. County board member claims, you've had those likewise for a few days. Are there any questions, clarifications? Hearing none, motion to approve. Russ moves and Andy seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Next, we come to the public comment section. We ask if you have a comment that you would identify yourself and stay within a 5-minute time frame in your comments to us. Are there any public discussions? The rostrum's available. Hearing none, we're going to go to the first highway resolution, 2022 County Maintenance Resolution, BLR 14220, appropriating funds for the county's motor fuel tax allotment for the maintenance of county roads for the period beginning 1/1/22 through 12/31/22. The highway engineer was here on Monday, not here, but at our study session. Are there any questions or comments on that resolution for the highway? Hearing none, a motion to approve. Russ moves, Dan seconds. Further discussion, anything you want to say, Mr. Engineer? Okay, call the roll, please.
Farner.
Yes.
Lawton.
Yes.
Luddington.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Bruner.
Yes.
And Ellis.
Yes.
It does carry. Mr. Clerk, would you go over the next 3 items, make sure the board is clear on those?
Have you had a chance to look over your dates from the study session? Pretty much routine what we've been doing the last several years. Second Monday of the month, we have a study session. That just follows the Road and Bridge Motor Fuel Tax Committee meeting at the highway. That's always the Monday before the board meeting. And then we have a second study session 2 weeks later. And so Josh and I coordinated our schedules, and pretty straightforward. And again, I want to mention that on your board meeting dates, the newly elected county board members take office on Monday, December the 5th. So that's when the oath of office will be administered and the organizational meeting will be held. And then a week and a half later will be the first regular scheduled meeting. Questions?
Okay. Number 9, set dates, times, and locations for the 2022 county board meetings. A motion to accept the clerk's recommendations. Russ moves. Andy seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Next, set time, dates, times, and location for county board study sessions for the year 22. Motion to approve. Recommendations, Russ moves. Dan seconds. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Lastly, on that particular item, set dates, times, and locations for the 22 Road and Bridge Motor Fuel Tax Committee meetings. Motion to approve. Russ and Andy. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Next, we move on to what I'd like to have is Lisa explain what's going on. So the item is to extend the solar moratorium until February 8th of 22. Lisa?
Right, so I've completed the initial draft of the solar ordinance, and it's gone to the Farm Bureau legal team to review, and they had some comments that I have added to the draft. And Russ, I've asked you and Derek Lawrence and the other committee member to get back with me, and you also, if you want to pipe in, by next Monday. And then hearing any comments or not, then I will make any revisions that need to be made. And I'll ask you to get that to Mark Isom. And then we need to have a public hearing on it, and that's why we are extending it till February 8th, and I don't see a problem with getting that all completed by then.
Okay. Any questions? A motion to extend that moratorium till February 8th of 2022. Lisa, would you like to make that motion?
Yes.
And Russ seconds. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Next, we move on to an airport item. We have some new projects, so you have a resolution in your packet to select. We've gone through the selection process. Hanson Engineering, I believe, was the only one that offered to do our engineering work and professional services on those projects. So I need a motion to approve their selection and the resolution for their selection. Carl moves. Lisa seconds. Would you call the roll?
Certainly. Farnum?
Yes.
Ludington?
Yes.
Patrick?
Yes.
Bruner? And Ellis?
Yes.
Does carry.
And I'm sorry, and that was Carl, and I'm sorry, who?
A lot,
The second.
poor guy over here got upset. You missed it.
Mr. Chairman.
Carl moved and
Lisa.
Lisa,
Lee
yeah.
second.
Mr. Chairman, we needed to go back and call the roll on the moratorium.
Oh, that is
Because it is a
resolution.
resolution.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, sorry. So I've got Lisa made the motion and Russ seconded it. So now Farnum,
Yes.
Lawton,
Yes.
Ludington,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Bruner, and Ellis.
That does carry. So we're all caught up?
We're all caught up.
Sorry about that.
No,
Next, approve animal shelter voucher program. We've heard from our director of the animal shelter a couple of weeks ago, and you've had a chance to look at it. Is there a motion to approve the voucher program? Dan moves, and Phil seconds. Are there any further questions? Do we need a resolution, or
One thing,
a,
Jeff, can I comment?
yeah,
It starts in January, so,
okay.
and I hope maybe we get something put in the paper, explain how it's done and so forth. You get that done? Thank you.
Well, you know, you might wanna put a little advertising in the paper too.
Right.
I mean, that's up to the committee. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? That does carry. Okay, we come to the part resolution of support for joint City of Paris and Edgar County Rebuild Downtowns and Main Street Capital Grant Program. There's been a change since Monday. Beth called me yesterday morning, and the city is no longer going to apply for that program. Okay, but the main reason was that some of the matching funds that they were going to use were going to be expended by local businesses, and the local businesses cannot wait, because once they do it, they can't use it as a match. So for example, if the grant is not approved till September, and that would be warp speed, and they did their projects before then, there's no matching. In other words, it has to be done after the program's approved, or the grant's approved. So the folks that are gonna be doing the improvements downtown in several different locations wanna do it ASAP. One is a couple of businesses that need to get into business so that they can make money, and the other one wants to get their project done this spring. So what that leaves us with is a new resolution. We still have our plans for roughly $450,000 improvements of the courthouse area, which is part and parcel of that plan. And we're gonna seek those funds and see how we do. If nothing else, I mean, I'm not saying we've got an even chance of getting it, but we'll be prepared, and even if we don't get it this round, we're gonna be in a better shape. Coles County is gonna write up that grant. Josh is gonna help with it, and we're gonna develop that. So that's what this resolution does. Whereas the state of Illinois announced the Rebuild Downtown Main Street Capital Grants on September 10th, 21 to support improvement and encourage investment in commercial corridors and downtowns. And whereas the Paris downtown district includes an area generally bounded by Union Street and North, and Tiger Apartments parking lot on the south, and Central and Main Street on the west and east respectively, whereas Edgar County Courthouse Plaza is located within the downtown district, and whereas the County of Edgar is aware that the proposed downtown streetscape project consists of improvements designated to enhance the visibility, utilization, and vibrancy of the city's downtown district, and whereas increased safety and accessibility for pedestrians, vehicular traffic in the city's downtown district is to the advantage and benefit of the community and the County of Edgar. Now therefore be it resolved that the County of Edgar intends to apply for the Downtown and Main Street Capital Grant Program. The County of Edgar will coordinate efforts that it may propose to undertake proposed downtown streetscape area with the City of Paris, and that the County of Edgar will participate in cost sharing of the grant for rehabilitation on the Edgar County Courthouse Plaza. So are there any questions about that? Yes, Lisa?
So we're requesting for $400 and some thousand for the grant, so our match is 400,000?
Oh, no, our match will not be 400,000.
percentage?
We haven't set the percentage yet, and we're guessing somewhere around 10 to 15%.
Okay.
Okay? I'm glad you brought that up, I forgot. But I think there will be a lot of large projects. There's only a $50 million pool, a lot of money, but not when you consider who may be applying for it. So we're hoping to slip through, because ours is a more modest request. We've got Massey and Massey, excuse me, that have been working on this project for about 10 years. And, if we can, we'll try it and see where we get. And it certainly will make a vast difference to the accessibility and the way our courthouse plaza looks. Yes?
Is the city still in with anything?
Nope, they pulled totally out.
What you said, something about the city?
Yeah, I said that we're gonna coordinate with the city to make sure that our plans match theirs. We don't wanna do one thing. In other words, let's just use a street light. We don't wanna put in one kind of street light and we need to coordinate some of our efforts together, okay? So that it makes sense. Yes,
Is there the chance that we can get a reduced amount, or is it 400,000 or nothing?
there is a chance, yes. Motion to approve. Andy moves. Russ seconds. I'd like a roll call on this, please.
Farnum.
Yes.
Lawton.
Yes.
Ludington.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Bruner.
Yes.
And Ellis.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, and it does carry. We'll do the best we can, we'll keep you up to date on that. I might mention here at the same time that we're looking at some Justice Department, grants that are available, where they might fit in, for the courtrooms and some of the other things that we're doing at the courthouse. So, we'll see how that works out, but, we've been, made aware by Coles County that there are a few things out there that we might take a look at. Okay, COVID-19 leave policy, you have that. Basically, we're extending that for one more year till from the first of the, yes, go ahead.
Excuse me. So we had that discussion Monday, and Andy brought up the possibility of just running it for 6 months and then take a look at it.
That's fine.
So that's what the resolution
Oh,
basically
I'm sorry.
says.
Pardon
Yeah.
me.
And
I
so,
thought I said it, saw it.
well, we didn't have the resolution ready by then,
That's
so
fine.
that would not be
That's
fair,
good.
because you just now got it. But basically what it says is, we followed the law last year, or in 20, for the COVID leave policy, the federal law, and it expired December 31st. Throughout last year, the chairman has always indicated that he wants to take care of the employees. So we have had some COVID-related issues that we went ahead and took care of that, which there's some money for reimbursement for that also. But it was September the 8th, just a few months ago, that you officially renewed that to the end of November, okay, of this year. So basically what this resolution says is effective December 1st, a week ago, until June 30th, we will reinstate the COVID leave policy based on the Families First Coronavirus Response Act. And then on January 30th, we'll take a look at it, but it could also then be renewed or extended for another period to the end of November.
Questions of Augie? Motion? Andy moves. Russ seconds. We should call the roll.
Yes, sir. Farnum.
Yes.
Lawton.
Yes.
Ludington.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Bruner.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Okay. Next item is the sheriff's semi-annual report. He's not here to explain it. Are there any questions about it? Anybody see anything that we should look at? Okay. Motion to, go ahead.
I'll make a motion, we put it on file.
All right. Is there a second? Andy seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Next is the county clerks. Do you have any comment?
You have both of those reports, but specifically the county clerks. For the 6-month period ending November 30th, the total for those 6 months reflects higher recording fees. We've been busy. A lot of it tags along with what Dina reported the last time she was here about being in a housing market boom, and we've seen an increase in recordings. And so probably roughly $4,000 to $5,000 more. And then we also added the new liquor licenses. And so that's $1,000 each. So altogether, we're looking at close to $7,000 more.
Got a question? I was gonna ask you, and I just saw an answer to my question about all the top fees go into the general fund, and these 3 down at the bottom, document storage, GIS, and vital records, they got their own separate fund that's on this.
Yes, sir.
And the money that goes into those funds, like GIS, you can only use it for GIS stuff.
Right.
Same way with document storage and stuff like that.
Right, right.
And vital records, I see.
Vital records is, yeah.
What do you use?
Well, the certificate paper is a safety paper, and it's expensive, so we just replenish our stock with that.
Okay.
Doc storage is to be used to help maintain your records, especially electronic. So, since our recording system obviously images those, if you will, we scan them in, and so part of our recording expense, anything along those lines.
Thanks.
Thank you, Carl.
I'll make a motion to put it on file. No other
Carl
questions?
moves. Andy seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Okay, next we come down to approve inclusion of 911 Operations Center in proposed construction of new jail. This is basically to make sure that we've given guidance to how the board feels as a whole so that we can act together. So I would entertain a motion we basically said this, but it's official. So motion to approve this inclusion. Andy moves. Lisa seconds. Discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Next, approve combining Paris Police Department dispatching with county dispatching if feasible, and that is a big question. But this way, we've given direction as a board on how we feel about it, and we've already had several meetings. We had a good meeting with the architects yesterday in making sure that we were fluid in how we approached the construction of the new jail insofar as how it might react to the combining or the not combining of the dispatch system. So this gives further guidance to 911 and what we expect and what we, with the proviso that if it doesn't work, if it's not feasible, then we not do it. So, like a motion to approve that. Andy moves. Russ seconds. Further? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. It does carry. Next, we move into office department head reports. I would like to offer the ambulance service, since they're so kind as to be here, first opportunity in case you guys need to scoot. So, Adam and Sam.
don't have anything on the EMS side, unless Sam probably speaks to with the hospital side if she wants to, but unless you guys have something for me on the EMS side.
Okay.
Numbers are up. Hospitalizations are at max capacity. I would highly, highly encourage everybody to be as cognizant about your own health as you possibly can. Healthcare workers are at their peak. Mental health is a real thing with healthcare workers right now, but we are, I know to some people it's very personal, but we have attempted to transfer sick people as far out as 3 to 5 hours away, and we are unable to. We are currently holding 6 patients right now that we do not have the capacity to care for should they decline, and we are unable to get them. I know this morning I got an update that IU Health System is calling in the National Guard to try to help staff because they have 120 people in holding for beds. So it is of dire straits in the healthcare world right now. So if you at all can take care of your own health, I would highly, highly encourage it, whatever way you can.
I don't know what to say to that.
We do have contingency plans in place to an extent, but our contingency plans are starting to become strained as well.
All right, any questions of these folks, frontline workers? All right, Augie? Do you have anything other than what you've already described to us?
No, I really don't. Well, I do, wait a minute, I do, I just remembered, I wasn't quite ready yet. I'm back on the personnel manual, the revised personnel manual, and I've reached out to Bruce at Bellwether to try to get him here sometime next month so that we can have a department head meeting and have him with us so that we can get everything talked out before we send that up to Mark for his review. So that's in the works.
Might I suggest, and I think I've talked to Lisa and the board about it a little bit, that we have, obviously, the department heads and or elected officials, but they might also have their chief deputy or whoever they designate also at the meeting so that they can understand the process. And if they're on the front lines, not to say that you're not, Augie, or some other elected official, but another set of eyes so that they can ask questions or understand better what's going on.
Good
Okay?
idea.
Any more questions of Augie? Let's see. Tom, got several things going on at the airport.
Yes, I would like to report we did have a good fuel month in November despite lack of good flying weather, so we were very happy about that. Our taxiway project, which was stalled on us, is now ready to proceed. However, weather permitting, it'll probably be in the spring. Before that's begun, I would assume. Would you agree, sir?
I would think so. I don't know much about it.
Okay.
And I reported to the board that we did receive $307,000 for the Platus program, which is a control system for the main runway, which was long overdue and was on the list of things to do. So we were awarded that. And of course, the main runway resurfacing is going to be bid out this next year. And then we have the other expansion of the taxiway and ramp, or what is it, ramp?
Yes,
Yeah. So we've got several projects going on there. Okay.
but they're all a ways off, so.
Yep. Any questions of our airport manager? Yes.
You get the hangar doors replaced?
They are on order, they are not replaced, they're waiting on electronic chips. Sounds like the auto industry does.
but everything's signed, sealed, and delivered, and that's just in the hold mode, okay?
This new control system, can you briefly tell us what that does?
That allows an incoming plane to make sure they're on the correct glide slope, so they're descending at the proper angle.
Okay. And you currently don't have that, or?
We have that,
It
our,
just-
our system is old, antiquated,
Okay.
and it requires lots of maintenance.
Aaron, do you have anything?
I don't have anything. Board have any questions? Go ahead, Department.
The one thing I did want to say for Don, he's overworking it, he's finalizing what he thinks, and we'll let you know about what we can do for the IMRF. He wanted you to note that we have really basically no income in from the state. Even normally we have the safety tax in, but this is, you know, the way things wound up the end of the month. We did get the personal property replacement tax in, at $15,700, so, that's why we're showing a negative 40 right now in the general fund. But all funds combined of the general nature and fees is roughly $3 million. And then the levied funds have roughly $607,000 in them, so we're fine, okay? I will be talking, and I know several of you have questioned me about it, that we do the best job we can of getting our year wrapped up so we can see sooner than later how we did this year. So, and Don is of a mind, things are different than they were last year. He has a little bit more help, and we should be able to, I think, do some of that much quicker this year. The accruals will be done. Now, final accrual will be based on when we finally get the last month of Illinois tax money in. And that may not happen for about 3 months, but we should be able to get expenditures, even if we don't wind up with the income side. The expenditures should be able to be closed out relatively early, okay? We'll do our best. Department head, did I forget anybody? Okay, department head report, I'm sorry. Board member reports. Dan, do you have anything to report?
No.
Andy?
Not much. I just saw was reminded that they're gonna start doing the imaging on the outside of the courthouse today.
Yeah, I announced that at 10 o'clock they're gonna do that with the drone.
I saw the core truck out there, so that'll be interesting. The inside's done and they're gonna do the outside. Maybe today, it'll take a day to do it?
I didn't ask that question, I'm not sure.
Okay. I think that's all.
Was
Bill?
Michael gonna be here today, the architect?
Yes, yes, he will be here today. They're gonna go over some of the things specifically with and you guys can talk to him afterwards, but they're gonna talk to Core about issues with the elevator and that type of thing, so that they can get plugged in. Remember, what was it, 2 or 3 weeks ago, they couldn't, something happened and the weather turned nasty, and so we didn't do it. So that's the follow-up meeting today. Bill, you're good? Russ, you're good? Carl?
And I don't have the paperwork in front of me. I was looking at the money that we transfer from court services over to the sheriff to help pay for that security. I was thinking, in some of that documentation, didn't see that were been transferred.
It has not, it will be.
Okay.
We thought we'd wait till the end of the year. I talked to Vicki and Derek about that, but we will be making that transfer,
No,
okay?
that's it.
Thank you, Carl. Lisa? Yes, Dan?
There's the neighborhood watch meeting tonight at 5. I plan on going, so to represent the board, so just
Okay,
let them know we're interested in it.
appreciate that. We did have the hazard mitigation, the second meeting, and it was well attended. I think we had roughly 31 people in attendance from everything from townships to fire departments, and so it was good. We've still got several more meetings. I think there's a total of 5 meetings before that's developed. And then the plan will be finalized and approved. It's a 5-year plan, and this will allow not only us, but other local agencies down to townships to be eligible to go in for grants because of the projects listed, but they can also amend that, right, Gary, to,
I understand what they said last night.
right, that, for example, if it's a 5-year plan, and of course, everything listed is something that, like the Kansas Fire Department might want to do. But say something pops up in 2 years, that plan can be amended, and then they'd be eligible for certain funding from either the state or the feds, okay? The other thing that was brought to my attention, and you might be thinking about this, and I don't even know if it's legal, but I've had several drainage districts call, and they would like, and I thought I would talk to our state's attorney and get permission to talk to Dick James, but they would like us, the county, to take over the drainage districts and eliminate drainage districts in this county. I don't even know, I was shocked just in the last, and I forgot to mention that to Aaron yesterday, but just in the last 4 or 5 working days, they don't get enough money in to do some of their things. They're constantly having to battle issues with the laws changing and their liability, and some of them are talking about resigning because they don't want the liability because they're not protected anymore. I don't know whether that's true. I just wanted to make sure, number one, so you knew that it was brought to my attention. Number two, you may get some calls from some of your folks around in the county, and that way you'd have some idea, but I think we at least gotta look into, I didn't know we could even do that. I'm not sure we can take over the drainage district. And who would do it?
How many are they talking about?
Well, I don't know how many drainage,
We have over 50.
50 drainage districts?
They want us to oversee all that?
I don't know how we could.
And then,
I'm just discussing it so you all are aware. I mean, I'm not advocating or against, I think that's that's a major deal.
So
Right?
you've gotten calls,
Yeah, well, and visits.
and what's their concern with?
Well, personal liability, that they're not getting enough funding every year. I'm looking at what they've got, looks like 1.35 million in their pots for 50 drainage districts. I don't know how much that works out to be, but, with projects the way they are, I'm just mentioning it to you, so.
so those drainage districts file a levy with us every year
Yeah,
for their maintenance fees, so
that's $270,000. No, can't be that many. 20. Okay, let's try that. $27,000 per drainage.
But that also, they're not all the same size, so.
Oh, no.
So I would almost think it would be there's a lot of different variables in there
No.
that would determine who gets money and who doesn't.
And I don't wanna get everybody stirred up thinking that we're gonna take them over, cause, obviously I've only heard for 3, and if there's 50, I don't wanna have them think that, well, the county's gonna try to take me over. I'm just saying, we've been asked the question, that's all.
Okay, I guess it could be if just the ones that want us to do it, if we have legal authority to do it,
Yeah,
to consider those, and the rest of them probably want to do their own.
Yeah. I mean,
They know
that's a
better
very,
than,
Right.
that's a very, I don't wanna say personal thing, but, I mean,
you know,
the lay of the land is important to the farmers,
Right.
they wanna control their destiny, not a bunch of us sitting in a,
Exactly.
so that's why I'm concerned, but. Yes,
I thought they had liability coverage, and that was why we went through the process that we do in approving them.
I can't answer any of your questions, cause I don't know. I mean, I'm just, and maybe I should have waited till I talked, but I thought you ought to know because you might get some calls. And I didn't tell them to call you, so don't. So, it's just something that we need to be thinking about, and we need to find out what some of their problems are, so. I know that would tear you up, Augie, if you didn't have to wade through all the,
That
levies.
would be a big relief, that's for sure, but,
at any rate.
But then we'd be responsible for doing
but
it.
then we'd be responsible, somebody would be responsible for doing it.
And then we'd have to have a department, I mean, it's nothing that we could put on the highway department, I mean, legally. So would we have to create a new department? What, I don't know, I'll find out.
When you put those tile in, you see it a lot of times, does that affect the drainage ditches?
I didn't understand the first part of
I
it.
didn't understand.
It can.
The tile, the black.
Oh, tile,
Yeah, the black, does that
Yeah.
affect the drainage ditches?
It can if they tie into something that's in the drainage district.
Wonder, you see a lot of that being done now, so, just wondering.
but you know, that's local I mean, that's right down to the field-to-field communication. And that's, I don't see how we could duplicate that, you know, you've got guys and gals on those boards that they're lifelong, you know, and they know what's going on. So, at any rate,
People get upset over that.
yeah, we
Touchy.
said a range war,
Drink water in my field.
so,
Wow. Drainage.
Yeah, it is. It's good for one, isn't necessarily good for the guy on the bottom.
Into the line.
Yeah.
those are 3-person boards, aren't they, Augie? So that's,
For the most part, they are, yes, but not every one of them.
okay. All right, well, we'll get more information and keep you posted, and I guess just proceed as,
Had I known that, I've got a report that very quickly will tell us the number of ditches and the number of parcels in that ditch and the number of acres that all represents. I'll get that out to you, so you have something to see.
okay. Okay, well, the main thing is nobody's taken over anything. We're not proposing anything, okay, like that. We're just taking a look and see what the concerns of a couple of the districts is, okay? Okay, do you have any questions of me on budget or projects or anything? Do we need a closed session for any reason? I don't think so. Okay, a motion to adjourn. Russ moves. Phil seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. We are adjourned.